The most common question that I ever get is, how did you do it? I've never told like my full story of how I got going with the Amazon influencer program or how I used other side hustles. But last year I tripled my income. And so now I'm getting this question all the time. And I'm getting it from stay-at-home moms, from people like me who are school teachers, people who feel like they're getting underpaid, but maybe like their jobs and want to stay in it. I'm also getting this question from full-time entrepreneurs, like how are you scaling up? How are you making more money? And so I wanted to do this right. So I'm going to tell you my full story. I don't usually script out my videos, but I have my computer right here with my notes, and it's 7 pages of notes. I wanted to make sure that I covered all the most important things. And so I have spent hours and hours going through my whole journey, thinking about what mattered and what didn't. I've looked at all the data and I've come away with a few important conclusions. And so I hope you'll stick around through this whole video so you hear the results, but also so you hear the whole journey, because I think that's the most important part of this. Okay, first things first. My name is Tyler and I created this channel, Creator Side Income, to teach other people how to make money on the side. So my name's Tyler, but for thousands of people, my name's Mr. C, because I've been a school teacher for over 20 years. I've taught elementary school, middle school, high school, college, graduate students, online and face-to-face. I've been in a lot of classrooms in 4 different states, and I love my job as being a teacher. I love it. Right now, I'm a professor and I teach future teachers how to be teachers, and it's a great fit for me. However, because I'm a school teacher, I've been penny pinching for decades. I'm married and I have 4 children of my own, and I want them to live an awesome life, but I knew that on a teacher's salary, that would be difficult to go. So even coming into this profession, I knew it would be hard, but for decades now, I've been looking for ways to make money on the side so I could live the life of my dreams with my wife and my 4 kids. Now, something I didn't fully understand when I entered the teaching profession is I felt like if I worked really hard and did the best job I could and changed and impact hundreds of lives, that my salary would go up. But it didn't. The sad reality is, it doesn't matter if you're the best teacher in the world or the worst teacher in the world, you're not going to be compensated according to the value you give to your students. You're going to be compensated according to how much experience you have and how much education you have. So my salary is a little bit better than most teachers, but it is still nowhere near what I would need to be making to fulfill the dreams I had when I was a kid. I've always been a dreamer, and I envisioned a life where I could go on luxury vacations around the world, where I would have enough money in the bank, where I wouldn't have to worry about bills from month to month. I always thought that there would be a time where I'd have more than enough. If you're a school teacher, you know that is not the reality for most school teachers. It is really hard to work in a profession where you are overworked, but underpaid and underappreciated. Lucky for me, I love being a school teacher. So despite all those things, I still wake up and I love to go to work each day. I look forward to the new week. I feel like I can make a difference in the lives of my students. So I love what I do. Even luckier, at least for me, is I'm married up in a big way. My wife has never needed or wanted a lot of fancy things, but she values hard work and she values service. She values giving back to others, serving God, and doing the best that she can. And that's what makes us happy together. So she's always been super supportive of my decision to be a school teacher and to stay as a school teacher despite the low pay. And we've just simply learned to live within our means. Still have hopes and dreams. And for that reason, I stayed in school and I got a bunch of degrees. That's why I've written books and I've given speeches. I've designed websites. I've worked as a sports writer, as a blogger, as a podcaster, as a YouTuber. It's why we've invested in the stock market and in real estate. It's why we've built up our savings accounts. We have hopes and dreams and we want to live our best life. And even though our bucket list is getting longer with time instead of shorter, we still have been able to do a few cool things. Because of side hustles, we've been able to go on a cruise. We've been able to go take our family on a few really amazing vacations. We've been able to purchase some fun toys. That extra income has made a big difference in our lives. But the reality is we're starting to run out of time. You've probably heard you only have 18 summers with your kids, and we're down to that 18th summer. There are things that we've always wanted to do as a family that we just haven't been able to afford to do or haven't had the time to do. So a year ago, when I started setting goals for myself and as we set goals as our family, we wanted 2023 2023 to be the year where we were able to cross things off our bucket list, create lifelong memories of things that we were able to do and experience together. In order to do that, I knew that I would have to say yes to different opportunities to work overtime or look for other jobs, to double down on my side hustles, but really to dig into those and analyze where was I getting the best return on my time investment. As a school teacher, what were my opportunities for overtime, or we call them overloads? As a professor, it's teaching extra classes each semester, or especially over the summer, doing curriculum design, serving on committees, doing extra things. I looked to say yes to as many overloads in 2023 as was possible. Now, what I found is as I said yes to different opportunities, more and more opportunities arose because people knew that I would say yes. And there are a lot of instances, especially for school teachers, where people don't want to do the extra work. Maybe summer vacation is coming up and you want to take a true vacation and not work over the summer, but there were a lot of needs. I was asked to teach one class and then 2 classes and then 5 classes because other people were saying no to those opportunities. So I found like in a normal year, my load would be 5 courses taught each semester, but in 2023, I did a load of 19. So I essentially worked 2 full-time jobs. And while I doubled down on teaching, I also decided to double down on my side hustles. And that was a hard thing for me to do because I've always had interesting things that I did on the side, which I did for leisure. And so I had to decide what was making the most money or freeing up the most time. There were things that I've done in the past that I really loved, like sports writing, where I would get media passes to football games and be able to interview college football players regularly. And I loved being in that world, but it wasn't making a lot of money. Another hustle that I've always loved was creating websites for celebrities or doing interviews on a YouTube channel with, professional athletes or Hollywood celebrities and spending time with that group, which I always did for free because it was really cool to simply interact with really famous and really cool people, but it wasn't bringing me a lot of income. I also put a pause on things that are personally fulfilling to me and even help me get ahead in the long run in my profession. Things like writing and publishing books, giving speeches, and traveling around to conferences and doing things like that. I put those temporarily on hold because, again, they weren't making a lot of money, but they were taking a lot of my time. So when I stepped back and analyzed all the side hustles that I have to look at which things were resulting in the biggest income and generating the most positive cash flow for me, there were 2 things that far and away outperformed all the others: investing in real estate and doing video product reviews. Now, real estate and the stock market are great investments because they're pretty passive. You purchase a rental property or work on improving the value of your home, and you do that one time and then that value is there. Stock market, same thing. Invest in an ETF or in an index fund, set that money away, and then maybe you'll get monthly dividends or you'll just build equity over time, but you don't have to really think about it. The thing is, those aren't really side hustles, those are investment possibilities. So as far as things that generate the capital so I can invest in those things, my best thing was the Amazon Influencer Program. Now, if you're new to this channel and don't know what the Amazon Influencer Program is, let me give you a brief overview of affiliate marketing and how you might get into both the Amazon Associates Program and the Amazon Influencer Program. Affiliate marketing is this idea that you can do marketing for someone else, help sell their product or their service. And then if someone watches your video or watches your advertisement and then purchases that product or service, you get a small commission on that sale. And so in the Amazon Associates Program, that's a program that anyone can sign up for. It's free and it simply requires you to Google Amazon Associates Program or join the Amazon Associates Program. You fill out a form and they let you in. It's really cool. And I've actually been doing this for several years. I started by taking pictures of products, putting them on Instagram and Twitter, and then directing people to Amazon as part of their Amazon Associates Program. And if people purchased those products, I would make a small commission, anywhere between 1% and 4%. Well, that was never a big money maker for me. I'd maybe make $5 to $10 a month, but it wasn't a big deal. I started adding video and publishing those to YouTube, and my earnings went up a little bit, but it was a lot of work. In 2022, my little brother told me about the Amazon Influencer Program, and that's different from the Associate Program. In the Amazon Influencer Program, you have to be an influencer, meaning you have to already have a social channel that has followers that are engaging with your content. And if you're directing those to Amazon, that's even better for you. You have to apply for the program. So you search Amazon Influencer Program, you sign up, you fill out the application, you tell them about your social following, and then you're either accepted or rejected. And when I first applied, I was rejected. And I didn't think more of it, but then my brother kept telling me, no, this is a good program. You should look into this. This is good money. And so I applied again using a different social channel and was rejected. But then I tried again using a different social channel and was accepted. And so I got into the Amazon Influencer Program at the end of 2022. In my first full month in the program, I made $165, which might not seem like a lot, but if you're a content creator or an online marketer, you know that that's great money for a first month. For me, it meant I was making like $5 an hour, which if you compare that to something like blogging, it might take you years and years and hundreds of articles to the point where you're making $5 an hour. So $165 in my first month was incredible. My next month, I made almost $800. And that's just working a few extra hours during the week. And so I went from making about $5 an hour to then making $15, $20 an hour. And going into 2023, I knew that this was the side hustle that I needed to double down on, that I needed to treat seriously so that I could have that financial stability that I really wanted. The reason the Amazon Influencer Program is so effective is because they take out the middleman. So like in the Amazon Associates Program, I could create a product review video, I could post it on YouTube, but then I would have to send a link where you would go over to Amazon to purchase the product or to learn more about the product and then make the purchase. The Amazon Influencer Program takes out the middleman. So you just put your video directly on Amazon, someone watches it and makes a purchase and you get a commission. So you don't have to drive traffic, you're using the traffic that's already there. And not only that, if someone's on Amazon, it's probably because they want to make a purchase. So it's people who are planning on buying anyways, and all you're doing is trying to help them make an informed decision so they buy the right thing. It's the easiest and best marketing play that's ever been created. And so it's no wonder that I was able to make money right away and scale up right away. I loved that I was making that money. And so going into 2023, I was thinking, how much money can I make and how much work is it going to take? As I set my goals for 2023, I looked at the previous 2 months of data, and I truly felt like if I doubled down and treated Amazon influencers seriously, I could work anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week, really put in some effort, and get my income up to where over the course of the year, I could make as much as $20,000. Now, if you're a school teacher, you know $20,000 is life-changing money. The best you can hope for in a year-to-year raise is a few $100s. So this is like 10 times what you could get. Even more exciting than that, though, is I looked at realistically, like if everything stayed the same in the program and I put in the time and I put in the effort and got the same results that I'd been seeing in my first month or 2 months and kept growing at the same rate, then I had this pie in the sky goal where I could make as much as $65,000 in 1 year, which didn't really seem conceivable because that was more than my teacher salary. But as I made projections and I built spreadsheets, I saw that it was possible. It would just take a lot of hard work. Well, I wasn't messing around. I wanted to be able to cross things off our bucket list. I wanted to have that financial stability. So I determined I was going to publish at least 50 videos every month, that I would treat it like a job, that I would do research. I would watch videos on how people were improving their product reviews, that I would see what other Amazon influencers were doing, that I would analyze my own data, that I would reach out to Amazon sellers and see if I could get more products. I determined I was going to do all those things and see if I could at least make $20,000, but then have that pie in the sky goal of $65,000. It was a grind. It wasn't easy. Now, in the very beginning, all I was doing was finding things around my house. I was shooting videos, I was editing those videos, and I was uploading them. And I was probably spending way more time than I needed to in that process, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I was trying to figure out how to make videos more efficiently, how to do a better job with editing. So I was spending a lot of time doing that while I was also studying my own analytics. But here's a really cool thing. As my storefront grew, people started reaching out to me and saying, can you review products for us? And so I was having companies, brands, Amazon sellers reach out to me and say, hey, we saw your video of this product. If we send you a similar product, can you review it for us? And we'll give it to you for free. And in the beginning, that seemed awesome. I was like, heck yeah, I'll do this. And then I'll have more products to review so I can get that thing for free and upgrade our lifestyle with all this cool free stuff. But then on the back end, I can get commissions if people buy those same products after watching my video. So it seemed like a really good gig. I also tried reaching out to other companies to see if I could get things that I really wanted. So I reached out to a bunch of musical instrument companies to see if I could get ukuleles and guitars. I reached out to some drone companies to see if I could get some high-end drones for me and my kids. And it kind of worked. Like, I had to do a lot of outreach to get a few things, but I got some things for free, was able to review those things, and now I had all these great things that I could have for my own family, but I could also gift to my students and other people. As exciting and as cool as that was to do reviews for other companies, pretty soon it became overwhelming because instead of getting 1 or 2 requests a week, I started getting 10, 20, 30 review requests each week. And obviously I didn't have the time to review all those products. So there were a few things that I had to do to kind of pivot. One is I started charging to create those videos. And as I got more and more requests, I raised my rates higher and higher. I also had to be more discerning and only review things that I really, really wanted either for me or to be able to gift to my students or to my community. So I started charging for almost all my review videos. I would still say yes occasionally if there was a product that maybe cost over $100 that was something that I wanted, or if I thought that it would do really well on the back end, that I could promote it and a lot of other people would buy it so I could make money in the long run. I still said yes to a few of those products as well. Now, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I get this question all the time. How do you find products to review? And getting things sent to me is one of the big reasons. I've never run out of things to review. I've reviewed over 1,500 products at this point, and about 1/3 of them have been sent to me for free or for pay, where they paid me from other Amazon sellers or brands, companies. And so that's how I get a lot of my things to review. But that grew with time, right? I had to have a lot of reviews there first with things from around my house. And I still have things around my house that I need to review. So I'm not even close to running out of things to review. But part of that is because I'm regularly getting things sent to me. In fact, one of the cool things about that is it truly feels like it's Christmas almost every day because people send us things and we get packages all the time. So it's really fun. So let me go quickly back over the year 2023 and talk about the results I saw from Amazon Influencer. Now remember, I was trying to publish about 50 videos a month in the beginning. And what I saw was in January and February, I was earning about $1,500 a month. It went up to $2,000 in March and $3,000 in April. So I was seeing pretty steady growth throughout that first quarter by doing a few hours of product reviews each week. It wasn't a ton of time, but I was spending more time. I was getting serious about it. Now, Amazon pays you on a 2-month delay to allow for returns and things like that. So by January, I was starting to get my first paycheck, but by March, I was starting to get a serious paycheck where we were having now over $1,000 come in each month. And what we decided to do, at least initially, was let's pay down debt, let's put money into savings, and we're not going to put any money into this program. But then we started experimenting and thinking, what are things that we have wanted to buy anyways, but never had quite enough money? And now we have a little bit more money coming in. So we're going to buy the things that we wanted, but we're going to buy more intentionally. So we're going to look for things that are potentially bestsellers on Amazon, that don't have a lot of videos already posted on their product page. And so we got more strategic about the purchases that we might have made anyways, but now we're being a little more generous in our spending. And we're doing that in March, April. Now, around that same time, Amazon changed things on the Amazon Influencer program. They took off some product listings. They took off some videos. And so the earnings actually went way down in April and May. And so even with a lot more videos posted, we were making less money during that period of time. One of the fun things we decided to try is we started hitting certain milestones like $50 a day, $100 a day, $1,000 in a month, $2,000 in a month. And we wanted to be able to celebrate that. So while most of our money was going to savings and paying off debt, we made a list of like milestones and checklist things. And once we hit certain milestones, we celebrated as a family. So first we went out to eat as a family. Then we went to a trampoline park. And eventually we scaled that up. And once we hit some of the bigger milestones, we went on a helicopter ride as a family. I took my wife on a hot air balloon ride. As we hit milestones that were increasingly difficult, we went on excursions that were increasingly fancy, which was really a lot of fun. We also decided with cumulative earnings, we would occasionally do shopping sprees. And again, it was for things that we wanted, but now our kids were getting more involved and we're saying, all right, let's do some back to school shopping, but you have a bigger budget than what we've done in the past, but let's look specifically on Amazon for things that we think we can rank for. And during this time, sellers are sending us more and more products. So it really did feel like Christmas every day because we're having all these packages arrive, we're splurging on a few things, and then we're getting things for free. It was a lot of fun. Now, Warren Buffett has a quote that I really love. It's something to the effect of be greedy when other people are fearful and be fearful when other people are being greedy. And when he said that, he was referring to the stock market, about how a lot of people bail on the market when times get tough, but don't invest when, it's at the bottom. I love that quote, and I've applied that in my own life as far as investing. But I've also thought that applies to so much more in life. And with the Amazon Influencer Program, what I found is when things got hard, when Amazon changed the placements and the earnings went down, a lot of people would either drop out of the program and stop making videos or just take a long break. And I decided to do the opposite. When things were tough, I would double down. I'd work more with sellers and try to get things that had payments up front, so I knew I would be consistently making money each month. Or maybe I would double down on YouTube and make sure everything was posted to YouTube with links back to Amazon. So I kept doing that. And as things went down in April and May, I'm going into the summer as a teacher, and where a lot of teachers are saying, all right, it's summertime, it's time to relax. That's where I doubled down, not only in teaching, where I did all these extra classes, but I'm also doubling down on the Amazon Influencer Program. One of the nice things about teaching classes online is while it still takes a lot of time, it's flexible time. So I can wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, take care of all my teaching stuff, get my grading done, record some video lectures, and have the whole rest of the day, by the time everyone else is waking up, to work on Amazon reviews. So I doubled down over the summer, and instead of doing 50 videos a month, I got to the point where I was doing about 150 videos a month. So I'm producing a lot of videos. I'm getting a lot of things sent to me. I'm going out and seeking for products and getting better. I'm still researching and figuring out how the program works. What's the ideal length for videos? Should I do vertical or horizontal? So I'm doing all this research and doubling down and working really, really hard over the summer. So while other people are relaxing, I worked harder than ever this last summer, basically had 2 full-time jobs, and I'm waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning while everyone else is on vacation. I'm waking up, I'm doing Saturdays, I'm working through everything, and it really paid off. In July, we had our best month ever, earning $7,000 with product reviews, and we were able to match that in August. When I look back at my summer, I realized that when I combined the classes that I taught, the overtime that I did as teaching, the product reviews that I was doing, and the other side hustles, and I put that all together, I earned more money last summer than I have ever earned in 1 year of teaching salary. So my summer vacation paid more than what I could do as a school teacher during the year. The question is it worth it? Was working 2 full-time jobs and not having as much time for other things worth the price that I paid? It's interesting because as I've looked back over 2023, you would think that I didn't have time to spend with my family, that my teaching suffered a little bit, that I didn't have as good a relationship with my wife, that I didn't have as much time to serve in my church and work on my spirituality. The reality is I actually spent more one-on-one time with my children than ever before. I went on more dates with my wife and spent more time with her than ever before. I donated more time to my community and to my church than ever before. And I know what you're thinking, sure, how's that even possible? Well, I woke up early. I'm working 3, 4 o'clock in the morning so before people work up, I'm doing a big chunk of all this extra work. But also, we know this, when you have a lot going on in your lives, you economize your time, you're effective, you're efficient. And so I just weeded out the little things. Did I have to give up a little bit of binging on Netflix? Sure, I did. Did I play less games on my phone? Sure, I did. Did I give up social media to some extent and watching the news? Yes, I did. Did I miss any of those things? Nope. My leisure was working. I loved it. I was making these videos. I was doing things that were exciting because I was seeing the results in real time. I was able to spend time and money on my family. So I was highly motivated, and I don't feel like I had to give up much in terms of leisure. In fact, really the opposite was true. As you know, when we met certain milestones, we would celebrate in certain ways. And it was really cool that for the first time in our life, our entire family went to a Broadway show. Our entire family went to a rock concert. Another thing that we crossed off my personal bucket list was we took a trip to California and we all took surf lessons and we learned how to surf. And we did put down a down payment on our first international trip as a family, which we're going to be taking this year. And I am so excited for that. It's something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. So working that hard and that consistently didn't make a difference when it comes to leisure. If anything, it made a positive difference. Did it impact me in a negative way? Absolutely. I did have a hard time sleeping. I was so excited to wake up to work that I woke up earlier and earlier and earlier. And it was really hard for me to sleep more than 5 or 6 hours a night. I tried, I just couldn't do it. And I'm still continuing to have trouble sleeping. And so it definitely impacted my health in that way. Also, I've always struggled with my weight, but over the last year, I put on like 20 pounds, which for someone already as big as I am, that was a lot, and it has made life more difficult. I know how to be healthy. In fact, 5 years ago, I lost 100 pounds and I got into really great shape. And I even made a video about that, my journey to 100 pounds of weight loss. But what I found is I was so busy this last year that I just didn't prioritize my health. I know how to be healthy. I know how to exercise. I know how to have a good diet. But I was so stressed because of all these things that I was managing and I was not sleeping well that I turned to comfort foods and I didn't eat as healthy as I could have. And so that's definitely a mistake that I made and I want to rectify moving forward. The irony of that is that I spend more time than I ever have now behind a camera, and I've never been as unattractive as I am now because of all this extra weight. It is embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for me to get up in front of my classroom. It's embarrassing for me to go do things with my kids and to struggle to get around like I did even a few years ago. And so, sure, I made a lot of money. Was it worth the cost? If I didn't have any agency in the matter, I would say no. But the reality is, it's a matter of priorities. And I can sacrifice some of the success I've had in business and give back some time to my mental health and to my physical health. So I'm sure you're interested to know, did I actually hit my goals for the year? Well, obviously that 20,000 initial goal, I hit that earlier in the year. So then I was looking at that pie in the sky, 65,000, and things changed again. Going into Q4, again, Amazon made changes in the program, took videos off certain carousels, and the earnings went way, way down. So by this point, I had 1,000 videos, but I wasn't making as much per video as I had been earlier in the year. So again, I doubled down. I worked more with sellers. I made more videos. And in November, I had my best month ever, clearing $8,000, which was really, really awesome, especially right ahead of the holiday season or Christmas to have that extra money being earned. But then in December, I did even better and had my first 5-figure month, earning just over $10,000 for December. And it was an awesome way to end the year, but I was just short of that pie in the sky goal. Instead of $65,000 in my first full year as an Amazon influencer, I earned $63,000. So better than my full-time job salary, better than what I could make with overtime. It was my number one earner in 2023. But when you combine those three things, my full-time job, my overtime, and product reviews, I more than tripled my income in that year. Now, what did we do with that money? You already know. We paid down debt, we built up our savings, and we spoiled ourselves. We did a lot of fun excursions and did some really fun things. The cool thing is when I look back over this year, what we want to see is that we're building a financial future that is sustainable and stable. And our net worth actually went up by $70,000 this year. So we were careful with our money. We didn't start overspending on everything else just because we had more money. We kept a similar lifestyle, but had more frequent splurges. And we definitely did more than we probably needed to or should have. In fact, as we look back over the year, we're like, man, we had too many milestone celebrations and we have fewer scheduled for this next year. But it was a lot of fun. We crossed so many things off our bucket list. and it was an exciting thing. So while we crushed it in 2023, I am looking to take my foot off the gas a little bit in 2024 because I want to take care of myself. And so I want to make sure I have more time to do the things that matter most, and that includes taking care of my personal health. Now, I set the goal to only do 50 videos a month, and then in January, I did 120 videos. So clearly it's difficult for me to give that up. I've grown accustomed to having this extra income. And quite frankly, I like the routine of doing product reviews. It has become part of my life now, and I'm just looking for opportunities all the time to do that. And so it's been difficult. Even with this channel, Creator Side Income, I had a goal earlier that I wanted to, without fail, have a video every week and have a high quality, highly edited video. But it has taken the backseat to the thing that I know is making money, which is the Amazon Influencer Program. And so it's very difficult for me to change that mindset and say, look, I know I'm going to get more personal fulfillment with teaching my students, teaching other people how to make money with their side income. And so that means spending more time on this YouTube channel instead of doing things that are going to make me money right now, which is the Amazon Influencer Program. But that's one of my goals for this year. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I hope you will, because I'm going to drop a lot of videos that walk you through what I did, but hopefully show you the error of my ways, because I don't want you to gain 20 pounds this year. I don't want you to have to sacrifice things that make your life wonderful. I want anyone who is willing to be smart and work hard to be able to live the life of their dreams. And I know that's possible with the Amazon Influencer Program, with YouTube, with so many other side hustles that are out there that are easy to get started, but it takes consistency and hard work. So as we wrap this video up, I want to give you my key takeaways from tripling my income in 2023. Number one is I learned that if you find something that is working and you are willing to work hard and be consistent, you're almost guaranteed success. But that's easier said than done. Hard work and consistency. In 2023, there are 52 Saturdays. I worked every single one of them. And I paid the price for that, right? I worked most holidays. I worked over the summer vacation. And I was consistent. The longest I ever went between posting videos to my Amazon Influencer storefront was 9 days. I literally made videos every single week of the year. I didn't take time off. And I did take time off. I still went on vacation. I still did a lot of things, but I would wake up early in the morning on those days and continue to put out videos. And so I was working pretty consistently, even when I was relaxing, even when I was having fun with my family. Another question I get all the time is the Amazon Influencer Program oversaturated? Is it still possible to make money? Well, if you compare it to where it was a year ago or 2 years ago, yeah, it's way oversaturated. In fact, I've done a lot of calculations, looked at a lot of spreadsheets, and I estimate that a video today is worth about a fourth of what a video was worth a year ago. And so where last year with 100 videos, I can make $1,500 in a month. Now for those same 100 videos, I'd be lucky to make a few $100s in a month. That might sound frustrating, but when you consider to make 100 videos, now that I'm good at it, I could do that in a couple weekends. And to make a few $100s for a couple weekends, that's still a really good deal. So is now a good time to get started? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to have side income that I still think is the easiest side hustle ever created, now is the time to get into Amazon Influencer. Is it going to be hard work? Absolutely. Are you going to have to sacrifice a few things? Absolutely. And it also takes education. If I immediately knew everything I knew now when I started a year ago, I would have tripled my money. And so as you watch videos like this and other videos on this channel, and as you look at other channels, I love Adam Hartwick's channel called Can I love Mercedes Gomez. There are so many good channels out there. And if you're regularly watching those and implementing the strategies that they suggest, you're going to do really well in this program. But it takes education and it takes hard work. Now, if you do those things, you can live the life of your dreams. What has that meant for me? Well, you might have noticed in this video that I've done a few wardrobe changes. My one big splurge of 2023 is I haven't bought brand new clothes in decades. I'm a thrifter. I buy all my clothes at thrift stores, but I saw this old 80s retro t-shirt and I thought, I have a little extra money. I'm going to splurge and spend $20 for a t-shirt, which goes against everything I've ever felt as far as shopping and spending money on myself. But that was my one guilty pleasure this last year, as I bought a bunch of these 80s retro t-shirts. And I've loved it. I've loved having that extra money to spend a little bit on myself. Of course, most of my money is going to other things, but that's been really, really fun. You made it to the end of the video, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I really think hearing the whole story is valuable, and that's why I'm here. I'm making this video for my children, for my students, for those stay-at-home moms and frustrated school teachers or any other profession where they feel like they're working their hardest, but they're not living their best life. If you want more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. I'm excited to do more of this stuff because I feel like there is a need for it in the world. And while it does take some of my time and it takes me away from the things that are making me money, this is my why. This makes me feel alive, is to be able to help other people reach some of the success that I've seen and hopefully exceed some of the success that I've seen because you are adopting the best practices earlier in your life. So please hit that subscribe button. And if there's any questions that you have or any direction you'd like me to go in future videos, drop that in the comments. Thanks for hanging with me to the end. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.